Oh gosh. There is your issue. I'm looking a lot more like, yeah, we're straight back into that. Oh.
This is where it all starts tomorrow. Toby gets in the truck, matches up with his team of Reds, staying on the west side of the road.
What the hell? How have we ended up in this position? All these new people as well. Time to remember names.
We gotta do this now!
I want to pause it so badly because we just jumped completely. Goodness knows where. Oh, Morgan doesn't look happy.
I'm here, let me help. I'm here! Do everything I say. I will. Rick, this was supposed.
What's that guy's name again? Last reaction was mental, that little like period I had with wanting him gone and then immediately feeling like, oh gosh, no, we need to save him. Like, it was so weird. Anyway, we're not going to go into the last episode. If you haven't seen that, you can see just there, it's like, Glenn's like, you listen to what I say. I think that will change over time. I think the more we trust this group, that will change, but I'm just overwhelmed right now. Like, what the hell am I thinking?
It's supposed to be a dry run, Harold.
Get ready! Come in!
It's supposed to be a dry run. We're not supposed to have to face bloody walkers.
We're finishing this! Come in!
Oh no. There's even more people to disagree with Rick now than ever before. Yes, or something? Oh, the music, man, it's giving me goosebumps. Welcome back to season 6. We're gonna have a little chat. I have a billion questions, specifically about Morgan. I've got this really weird feeling. I said to you guys when we were first sort of bringing back the idea of him returning, something didn't feel right. Like, it all felt like I was worried. I was really, really worried about what that meant for us, for Rick, whether Morgan agrees with what's happening, whether what. I see Morgan as a very strong character with very, very strong views, and we saw from season 1 he knew what he believed in. Obviously, he went through a torrid time and he ended up in a really, really dark place. But the more we see him come back to Morgan, I've got a weird feeling like the more problems we're going to get. Because I think him and Rick back then gelled so well. But him and Rick now, Rick's a different person. I don't know what to think about that. But that's one issue that I've got. I feel uncomfortable around that whole situation with Morgan. And I don't know enough about his return yet. But clearly we're jumping, so I've got to keep up. I mean, there's Gabriel, who... I'm sorry, but I'm still...
You were wrong.
Fuming at. To accept you were wrong? Okay. Maybe I feel like I'm on the path to some kind of accepting him again, but imagine how that could have turned out if Deanne took his advice straight away. Tara, yeah, Tara? Oh, I never know how to say her name. Is it like Tara? Like I'm terrified, or is it like Tara?
What?
Tara.
You guys look like shit.
Mm-hmm. You look great.
I think she's okay.
Ah, so good to see her back, man.
Tara?
Tara, that's her name, Tara. Oh.
Holy shit.
Makes you so happy, man.
Nothing happened to your hair.
Oh gosh. And we've still got this thing going on. Who was that? Everything's led to this, man. Our paths have converged.
I don't take chances anymore. And you shouldn't.
Mm-hmm. So what's Daryl doing? Is he drawing them all through? He is, eh? What a photo this is going to be. Oh, they're not going to show it. I thought that would have been the coolest thumbnail ever. Just Daryl on his bike and then Horde behind him.
People out there, they got to take care of themselves, just like us.
He's got a fair point, though. Now that we know that this group is out there and we've seen what we've seen, and the traps and the hordes of walkers, like they have got armies almost. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is Rick's point of now everyone out there is out there and we are in here. It makes sense for survival. But whose logic does that sound like from a long time ago? Speaking of Shane, good news. As you can see, the PlayStation has arrived. Now, I've also bought... I'm not going to show you because it's... Actually, maybe I will show you this. This came in the mail today, which allows me to screen record the PS5, and I can use my camera to record me, and we can post games. I don't know why I had to tell you that now, but I'm excited. I'm so excited for that.
Where'd you learn that?
Fran,
Look, I'm sorry for this, for having to do this.
it's all right.
Oh.
The way I look at it, sometimes you're safer when there's no way out.
So he's kept him in a little prison. I see. And of course, like, Morgan's going to accept it. That makes me so happy. But that's what I wanted from the start, you know, like a way of doing that. I guess then the issue, though, is imagine you brought the governor in without knowing him. He's manipulative as fuck. I mean, he would have found his way into your brain, and then when you let him out, he would have taken it out of your skull, you know, so...
Who the hell are you?
You first.
I'm Heath.
Heath.
I live here. My team's been on a run the last couple weeks.
Oh, wow.
We haven't had the chance to meet, and I can't exactly confirm your residence.
Open the gate.
If I do, how do I know you won't attempt to kill me?
Look, I'm not gonna kill you. But the longer you make me wait, the more you motivate me to beat your ass, so...
How do these people feel now that they get back and Rick's in charge?
I fully respect the hair game.
He'll grow. Eugene will grow on him. We know he will.
They haven't had to survive. Still might be too late.
Too late how?
For them to come around. We'll see.
Yeah.
What are you
Okay.
doing?
I wanted to help.
We only need one.
We have two men here.
We're not gonna bury killers inside these walls.
I understand how you feel. I do.
I disagree with Rick here. Like, okay, for me it's the same as Shane. Like, you start really liking him, and then like as the show goes on, you start to lose faith in his character. But then you still feel bad for him. Like, I never really hated him. Like, I remember I gave him chance after chance after chance, and I just felt so... I felt bad for what he'd been through. My logic is like, they were still, at some point, someone you cared about. Like, we didn't know this guy, but maybe the family wants to bury him inside. You know, like, I don't think it's up to Rick here. Like, I know that this is one of those decisions which isn't up to a leader. It's up to the people affected. I just... Think about, is that the kid there? Isn't that not...
Let the trees have him.
I know... Oh, actually, you know what? I don't think Deanne's with Rick in this situation just because Rick convinced her, but more out of anger out of what's just happened to her husband, right? So let's get that straight for a start. And the poor family and the kid. They already probably feel resentful enough.
Did you take one of my protein bars?
No.
I mean, she did.
I only think there's one more peanut butter left.
Gosh, that feels like ages ago.
Maybe we just leave him here.
That's not who you are.
Exactly. Come on, Morgan.
I know.
Hey,
Hey, maybe he's the, like, new Herschel to bring Rick, or keep Rick from the cliff face.
you don't.
If it's not who you are, then it's not who you were, man. This is what I'm talking about, though. The conflict that may arise because of the moral difference in Rick then and now compared to Morgan then and now. Like, Morgan, I think, has changed very differently to Rick. Look at the number of them. Jeez Louise. But they're moving so much faster than they usually do. Oh. If you haven't seen Zombieland, watch Zombieland. Kind of reminded me of that. There we go. Here's the photo I'm talking about. That is so freaking sick, it's not even funny, man. Look at that. Where are we drawing them? Yeah, where are we drawing them? It's kind of weird how walkers walk in packs, eh? Like in hordes.
I want to know where my dad was buried.
Now, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's not too much to ask. Oh, wow, so this kind of acts as almost like a bowl. Like they can't get out. Oh, but then they can walk up and around. Oh, and that's where the whole, like, I see.
They've had walkers at their walls, but
This is where they've all been.
Most of them.
I hear.
They wound up here.
Out, and we're just... Are we choosing to just break that now, or are we... I guess if we're scouting this, it makes more sense, because we don't just want to wait and pray that this doesn't, you know, dismantle, or the walkers don't get through, or like we saw, the truck doesn't fall off the cliff. Like, once it opens, all hell breaks loose. So I guess what we're doing is making sure that we're fully and utterly and completely prepared for the situation to draw them away, or to draw them somewhere else, or to deal with them, you know, rather than them turning up on our doorstep and us being basically... Like, how would you defend that? So this is a smart play. Now I know what the play is, it makes sense. So Rick buries the body. Come on, Rick. That's what I'm talking about.
You have to hurry.
Sounds like we've got a plan.
So what's the plan?
Not do what we did last time, just go in.
Hey, you've been out on runs since he got here. He knows what he's doing. Me and Aiden.
Come on. You know what?
That noise is gonna pull the herd right off the road, and then we have serious
Time to take action.
We have to do this.
Oh, shoot. We have to break the window in.
I know it sounds risky, but walkers are already slipping through the exits. This isn't about if it gives, it's when. It's gonna happen.
Couldn't we just build up the weak spots? Yeah, I could draw up plans. I worked on the wall with Reg.
The problem... No. It's something worth considering, but the problem is you're just delaying the inevitable. Like, you either sort the situation or you delay the outcome, right? Sorting the situation is more risky, but delaying... Well, is it though? Delaying the outcome may increase the consequences of that when it happens.
We're gonna do what Rick says.
I'm happy that people are voicing
Plan
that.
he's laid out.
I'd like to help as well.
No.
I do feel a little bit bad for him. Isn't it mad that I feel bad for him? Oh... If I could speak to myself last reaction and just be like, look, you're going to feel completely different in a matter of days. Of course I feel bad for him. I don't want him to not be a part of this, or a part of the group. As far as Rick's concerned, like, he's not family. I think that's what that is, because of what he did and the decision he made and what he said. Yeah, I want to forgive him.
So what? We're supposed to just take your word for it?
It's exactly what I was talking about.
After you wave a gun around, screaming, pointing it at people. After you shoot a man in the face. After you...
Enough!
He's got a point. He's got a point. I'm not going to hate him for having a point. What Rick did was reckless. And what Rick did, like I said, he showed way too much of a very vulnerable side of himself. And it's going to have consequences reverberating throughout this season.
I'm in.
Now who else?
Glenn's just saying nah, but he's jumping in.
We have to do this. I need to help.
Oh, he's giving me goosebumps.
Again. The exact plan.
I can't judge him or blame him for being the way he is, man. Of course he's going to question it. Who wouldn't?
We'll use the RVs, some of the bigger trucks, park them in the end.
We could use them to fortify the whip wall. It'd help disperse the force of impact and direct the walkers clean. Like a pool table, 8-ball corner pocket.
That's an army out there.
Bro, you don't
And
question
what happens when this
Eugene.
doesn't hold? Right back east, right back here. You seriously want to risk that?
I mean, you're risking it either way.
You need to help us to make it whole. Please.
Come on. Carter. Hey, it's my middle name. That's actually kind of creepy, because that's like, my first middle name is Redviz, R-E-D. I know it said Redding there, but Redviz, and then Marshall. That's really weird. Well, what the hell? Draw them away, draw them away, draw them away. Well, it's weird because it's like you kind of got a leash. What the hell? What I'm saying, it's weird because you kind of like, it's like having a leash on a dog. And you can control them long enough to the point that you have them on the leash.
You should stay back. Get a feel for how people feel now.
Think about how many seasons it took for us to like
She's in charge.
kindle our group together.
Things go south, you tell Rick and you draw him away. Just move back.
Come on, man, listen. Show that you got that in you.
He lured Glenn into the woods and tried to kill him.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh, so did she work it out to
He told me I
Glenn's
could tell everyone if that's what I wanted to do. He'd get Nicholas exiled. He'd die out there.
But she won't do
He'd
that.
done that.
He got Noah killed and he tried to kill Glenn.
But so crazy, like if I look back at my reaction to the scene, I'm like so angry at him, it's mental. And I still feel pissed that that's how it went. But I don't blame him completely by himself. And the reason I don't, yes, I think he was a coward, of course I do. He was not exposed to this world like we were. Sending him out on that run made no sense whatsoever. Now that's an issue of making that decision way before it was Nicholas's fault. And I'm not blaming and pointing fingers, but what I'm trying to say is it was incredibly unfortunate what happened, and yes, there's blame to be put on Nicholas for the way he responded. But do we genuinely feel like someone else wouldn't have done the same thing in his scenario? Can you hate him for being scared? That's the question, I think, what it comes down to.
I couldn't accept it either. But then I thought about you. How we were on different sides of that fence and we're still alive.
Exactly.
And now you're one of the most important people in the world to me.
I mean, she technically is a little bit
Things can get
different.
better.
I'm just gonna follow your lead. Okay?
I thought Maggie was going to be enraged by Tara's involvement with the governor. But
Ready? No. But since you're doing
Yeah, no.
this thing anyway.
game on. Don't panic, don't panic, don't panic, don't panic, don't panic. Come on, Nicholas. Yeah. Redemption arc. And you want to know what sucks? What sucks really bad? That's what experience does. It's weird to think about, good and bad. This experience comes from good and bad situations. And how much he's developed because of what the decision he made and back then is crazy. It's weird though, because if he'd killed someone else, imagine he'd not killed them, but imagine he accidentally caused the death of Carol.
Oh, thank you.
Would it be a different story?
Carol, right?
God knows. Objects appear
What is
closer than...
Keep moving. I'll catch up.
Abraham!
Oh my days.
Idiot.
He's so cool the way, look at him. Oh my god, I love Abraham. Like, I think I said this a while, he reminds me of Drax. I don't think he's as dopey as Drax, but...
Look at me.
I haven't had a chance to say it yet, but I'm sorry about Reg. He was a good man.
You know what, weirdly I haven't actually thought about this much yet, but think about how like dark of a place that Rick went when Laurie died. I haven't even considered whether Deanna's in one of those places yet.
Heads up.
Use your shovels. The guns will draw more. Help us!
See, look at the
You can do
panic.
this. You need to.
It's all about learning. I see what Rick means by it might be too late, man. I feel like Rick's... They're trying to throw them in the deep end, and I can understand why people might hate that, you know. It's like they want to help and they feel like they're not getting it.
You said you don't take chances anymore.
How many more of us have to die before we do something? Because pretty soon it's going to be too late. Plain and simple, we kill him before he kills us.
Oh my God.
He heard.
Connor, don't. You can't.
I mean, have we seen him alive since then? I think we have, eh? Yeah, what now?
What the hell's going on? I'm taking this place back from you.
See what I mean by a coup? Like, I literally said that would happen.
That's what you were talking about in here.
That's what he was talking about.
Right cross incoming. Oh wait, maybe not.
You really think you're gonna take this community from us? From Glenn, from Michonne, from Daryl, from me? Do you have any
Just don't speak like you own
who you're
it.
talking to?
I don't know if I like the way he's...
What? It was just me. Just kill me.
Like, this is not what I want. Oh my gosh, this is sending my brain through the bender. I don't want Rick to be feared. I don't want him to be feared. I want him to be loved, respected, and followed. Fear is not the solution. I don't care what you say. It isn't. It may work temporarily, but fear will never succeed long term. I know for a fact Morgan and Michonne and Daryl and all these other characters are going to help Rick sort of through this period because... I can't even speak, for God's sakes. Fearing us is not the way forward.
Right. I'm good. I'm good. You can try to work with us. Will you do that?
Because I think everything I'm saying, I think Rick knows. I think I'm just assuming he doesn't know. Rick's very hard to read, you know.
It's working. You were right.
There we go. It's weird how it... Well then...
Toby, they're breaking off.
Oh no.
Fire your guns and draw them back. You were that man Carter in the armory. That's you. You still the same man I met in King County, the one that came back and told me it wasn't over.
See, that's what's... I keep forgetting that, like, he hasn't... I think I said this actually last reaction. He hasn't seen Rick since Rick was original Rick. And now he sees the jump. So he, unlike us where we've like kind of developed to accept Rick as he sort of changes, Morgan doesn't want to just accept that Rick isn't who he was. And he wants Rick to know that he still sees him as that person. Which is phenomenal. I see this as a good thing. A very, very good thing. Reminds me so much of Herschel, you know, like Herschel reminding Rick that there's always a moral choice to be thought about or made.
I wanted to kill him. I realized I didn't have to do it. Somebody like that, they're gonna die no matter what.
I don't want to think like that. He has to kill him now, isn't he? Don't have a choice.
The gunfire's bringing them back
Ain't no choice.
Why don't you head back? Tell everyone what's happening that you know.
Okay, Rick.
Will you do that for me? Yeah. I'll take care of that
Look
one.
at that moral conflict. I feel like that's going to be so much to talk about.
Good point.
I know it's how it is. I do.
Yeah.
He needs to know how to handle himself. I can teach him. I can teach
Rick.
you. You need to know how.
Rick,
She's
when I found out we could have them, I
trying...
asked Rosita to start showing me how. And I'm going to teach Ron, and I'm going to teach Sam.
She's trying to protect her kids from this world. Who does that remind you of?
You're not ready. You will be. Sometime soon I'll make sure of it. And then you start to make it right.
Thank you.
is your issue? God. What the hell is that horn? Oh, it's gonna be the mugs, isn't it? The wolves or some stupid thing like that.
It sounds like it's coming from
Home.
Wait. What? Really? It ended so abruptly. So guys, that is that. Season 6, episode 1. No, not what I expected. Not gonna lie. I don't know what to say. I really genuinely don't know what to say after that. Like, it was just such an odd episode. In a way, it kind of makes sense because we're now in Alexandria. The next step, once we manage to create some kind of cohesiveness and some kind of understanding about who runs it, if that makes sense. Obviously, who our leader is, which is going to be Rick alongside Deanne. There was always going to be some changes, and that would include scouting, finding any issues beyond the perimeter and then resolving them, finding ways to be better, finding ways to make Alexandria more sustainable, more long term, and less prone to threat or damage or attack or whatever. And one thing I liked about this episode is because it sort of showed the transition between not really knowing if they should trust Rick, not really knowing if they should follow Rick, to understanding why they do, them developing in a very fast way, some of them not making it. I think that's the harsh reality Rick was talking about. I think that's one of my favourite things. It's like it sort of shows us in action what people that haven't been exposed are going to be like in motion. This had to be done. This had to be done, like Rick said, and there was no, like, you couldn't just delay the inevitable. Delaying it any longer could have been made it even worse. The longer you leave it, the worse it gets, the worse the consequences, basically, which is why we're resolving it now. But yeah, anyway, look, the whole plot is, we've got this horde, we're trying to draw it away from Alexandria, we're trying to keep the walkers out, which is really the primary concern. We haven't had to deal with walkers alone for a while. Obviously, it's been like the governor, the termites, it's sort of like we've always had some other threat. Obviously, not always, but it's been a while since there's been walkers. And I'm not saying we don't have another threat now because there's still the wolves, right? Which I wouldn't be surprised if they had some kind of involvement with whatever's happening back at home. But this episode was about walkers. Whether it stays only a walker problem, who knows? There's a horn going off in Alexandria, basically screwing the whole plan. This whole episode, everything it's been about is gone. Like, the episode's called, like, Day One Again. I think that almost like it kind of feels like in reference to the prison when we had the first walker incident since the start of the prison. You know, this is what this feels like. This feels like incident 1 as Alexandria. This is their first proper incident, and it's a lot bigger than a lot of the ones we've had to deal with, and we're so far away as well. Like, goodness knows, there are a lot of capable people back in Alexandria, I get that, but we don't know why the horn's going off. Could it be people in Alexandria that, no, why would they do that? Why would they sacrifice themselves? It's got to have something to do with the wolves, right? Either that or it's not, it's an accident. Whatever's happening isn't intentional. But yeah, the whole episode, the whole plan is gone. Like I said, there's not a lot to say. This episode's been a bit of a random one. I don't really have any thoughts yet. I'm not going to say I didn't like the episode. A bit all over the place, which you expect. When there's a time jump, a little bit of a time jump. When there's a new season, there's always, like, I think we got that with the prison. When we had the first episode at the prison, the very first episode of that season, I remember thinking to myself, oh, this feels so odd. Anyway, look, I'm going to leave that there, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel for new content every single week. And of course, follow the Instagram, Daniel with 2 Ds. And as ever, let me know down below what the episode, the reaction, and I'll get to those as soon as humanly possible. It's good to be back. The break was worth it. I think I needed that break. If I went straight into that episode straight away after season 5, I feel like it would have been even worse. A real quick thank you to all my members, guys. Maybe we'll have like a special end screen dedicated for members of the channel. There's 6 of you at the moment as of right now, and you're literally the OGs of the channel membership, so thank you all so much for joining. I'll get to the perks of all that soon, and maybe even create our own Discord, maybe a Reddit page. Obviously you already know about the members community tab, which I post on, and who knows, well, maybe early access to videos and all that gibberish, but we'll get to that, guys, in a second. I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has joined so far, and for everyone that's watched, liked, subscribed, etc. You too, you guys are awesome as well. Everyone is freaking awesome.
I love this song!
Everything is awesome. This has been Dan, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.